A rare winter pattern is developing right now, and what happens over the next 7 days will be unlike anything we've seen this season. Life-threatening cold has arrived across much of the country. Temperatures are minus 20 degrees, wind chills are minus 40. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. In just 72 hours, temperatures could surge by 60 to 80 degrees in some areas. 60 to 80 degrees, that's not a typo. That's a dramatic flip from extreme cold to near-record warmth just days before Christmas. The critical revelation is at the 30-second mark. This is a setup that raises serious concerns. Rapid snowmelt, flooding from runoff, and the doors opening for large storms before Christmas. Meanwhile, the Pacific Northwest is about to face catastrophic flooding as swollen rivers in Washington approach disaster levels. But there's more. The active pattern may reload snow chances across the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and Northeast later this week. Multiple systems, multiple opportunities, and a weather pattern so unusual that it's rewriting the forecast models in real time. Here's what you need to understand. Over the next 72 hours, dangerous cold is the huge concern across the Midwest and Ohio Valley. We're talking temperatures falling to as low as minus 20 degrees. Wind chills dropping to minus 40 degrees below zero. These conditions are dangerous for anyone outdoors. They can quickly become life-threatening without proper protection. Frostbite happens in minutes. Hypothermia sets in fast. This is not the time to test how tough you are. The game-changing information comes at minute 3. Don't miss it. But a very unusual weather pattern is developing right now that's going to flip the script later this week. And when I say flip, I mean completely reverse everything we're experiencing today. Before we dive into that dramatic pattern change, let's talk about what just happened over the last 24 hours, because the forecast was incredibly accurate. We actually overperformed in many areas across the Midwest and Ohio Valley. The highest snowfall number reported so far? Tilton, Illinois. Just over 8 inches of snow. But widespread 3 to 7 inches fell all across the Midwest. Central Illinois saw widespread 6 to 8 inches. Generally speaking, it was a big snowfall event yesterday. But here's what's even crazier. Indianapolis just had its second snowiest start to winter on record. That record dates back to 1884. 1884. We're talking about data going back 140 years, and this winter ranks number 2. That's how significant this pattern has been. Though the winter storm is winding down, it's still snowing this morning in southern New England and across areas like New York City back into Virginia. This continues through about lunchtime today. After that, most areas won't see any more snowfall. However, if you're watching the Patriots and Bills game, it will be snowing at the start. Southeastern Massachusetts and Cape Cod will continue to see light to moderate snow through about 3 to 4 p.m. A little lake effect snow near Lake Erie too. Monday brings another shot of snow possible across the Northeast, mainly light snow, but New York City and Washington, D.C. are seeing snowfall. That's something we haven't seen much of over the last few winters. The breakthrough discovery happens at minute 5. Keep watching. Across the Northeast, over the next several hours, we're still expecting a pretty decent amount of snowfall. Most areas in southern New England back into Washington, D.C. and New York City will pick up around 2 to 4 inches of snow. But plenty of locations, including New York City, Long Island, and southeastern Pennsylvania, will see areas around 5 to 6 inches. Cape Cod could end up picking up right around 6 to 7 inches by this evening. Now, here's where things get wild. Over the next few days, we're going to see a major weather pattern change across the United States. This is really going to change the rest of December across the country. Let's talk about the jet stream. These are your upper-level winds controlling our weather pattern. Right now, we have a big dip in the jet stream across the Midwest. This is ushering in all that dangerous Arctic air to the Midwest this morning, also into the Ohio Valley and through the Northeast. Tomorrow, that jet stream dip makes its way towards the East Coast. If you're anywhere in Virginia, the Carolinas, even back into Florida and Georgia, you will be feeling the effects of this Arctic blast late Sunday into early Monday. Northern Florida will actually drop below freezing Monday morning. Think about that. Florida, freezing in the middle of December. By Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to watch very strong northwesterly flow across the northeast and even parts of the Ohio Valley. This keeps things relatively cold over here. But here's what's interesting. What's happening behind that? We're going to start to see a large ridge develop across the Great Plains and the desert southwest. The unprecedented finding is at minute 7. This ridge is going to lead to a major swing in temperatures. We're talking about a 60 to 80 degree increase in temperatures over just a couple of days. In a lot of places, areas like Nebraska, the Dakotas, even the Midwest. If you have any snow on the ground right now in Iowa, Indiana, Illinois, definitely enjoy it while it lasts. There will be at least a couple of days next week where we're going to see melting, and it might be very rapid. By Wednesday and Thursday, our jet stream continues to stay very lifted off to the north. While this is happening, we have a ton of moisture over in the Pacific Northwest making its way over the Rockies. When that happens, we're likely going to see at least one, if not maybe two, different winter storms by around the end of this week and into next weekend. I don't think we're going to see as severe of an Arctic blast as what we saw over the last couple days, but we will likely see some Arctic air back over in the Midwest and Northern Plains Friday and Saturday. Once we get closer to Christmas, things get a little more uncertain. As of right now, the GFS model is promoting a pretty calm weather pattern right around Christmas, but that could change. It's still 10 days away. The mind-blowing revelation starts at minute 9. Most people this morning are absolutely freezing, especially in the Midwest. In the Ohio Valley, we currently have temperatures right around 40 to 45 degrees below average. Minneapolis, Chicago, Springfield, Illinois, Indianapolis, all 40 to 45 degrees below average. But it's going to change. This is not going to last forever. It's only about a 2-day Arctic blast for most areas. By Monday and Tuesday, a lot of that Arctic air makes its way over to the East Coast. Monday morning brings pretty severe cold centered across Indiana, Ohio, and Illinois. Along the East Coast, temperatures will be right around 10 to 15 degrees below average. That lingers through about Tuesday. But notice all that warm air back along the West Coast. That's going to be making its way over the Rocky Mountains on Tuesday. By Wednesday and Thursday, a lot of people are going to feel this big warm-up across the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and even the East Coast. By Tuesday afternoon, most areas in the central and northern plains will be right around 20 to 30 degrees above average. Many locations will reach above freezing on Tuesday. If you don't reach it Tuesday, Wednesday is more likely. Dakotas, Nebraska, Illinois, parts of the Ohio Valley, right around average, which means some areas will try to reach above freezing. Thursday is forecasted to be the warmest day of the entire week. We're expecting a widespread area in the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and the Mid-South, where we'll have temperatures around 10 to 20 degrees above average. The critical information happens at minute 11. If you're in areas like Illinois, Indiana, parts of Ohio, you could see temperatures in the 50s, maybe even pushing 60 in a few spots after being below zero just days earlier. Friday brings another Arctic blast across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. This is not going to be nearly as widespread as our last Arctic blast over the last 48 hours, but there will be a cold front making its way across the Ohio Valley and East Coast. Temperatures will drop by around 10 to 15 degrees. Then by Saturday and Sunday, we continue to have very warm temperatures over in the Southern Plains and Mississippi Valley. We could even be approaching records Saturday afternoon in Arkansas, Texas, and Kentucky. Records in December, just days before Christmas. Once we approach Christmas, things get more uncertain. But as of right now, it looks like we'll be talking about Torchmiss for much of the country. Above average temperatures likely all across the Great Plains, Midwest, Ohio Valley, and Desert Southwest. Now let's talk about exactly how cold or warm it's going to be over the next 7 days, beginning with this morning. It is absolutely terrible in the Midwest. Many areas, including Minneapolis, are right around minus 20 degrees. Chicago is right around 0 degrees. This afternoon, we're really not talking about high temperatures. These are basically low temperatures across the Midwest. Many areas barely getting into the single digits. Minneapolis, Milwaukee, single digits for a high temperature. The shocking discovery is at minute 13. Tomorrow we'll start to see a little increase in temperatures in the Midwest, but our freezing line is going to dive all the way to the Gulf Coast. Areas like northern Florida will actually drop below freezing Monday morning. By Tuesday and Wednesday, that's when our warm-up starts making its way into the United States. Nebraska, Kansas, Texas, many areas in the 60s and 70s. Wednesday will be warmer. If you're in southern Illinois or western Kentucky and you have any snow on the ground, it's definitely going to melt pretty quickly. Thursday is going to be the day of very warm weather over in the Ohio Valley and Mississippi Valley. These are the temperatures right around 9 a.m. on Thursday. Many areas in Illinois, including Indianapolis and Indiana, will be right around or above 50 degrees. 50 degrees! That means snow is going to melt very quickly. Those warm temperatures are not going to last all day. We'll have a line of showers and thunderstorms making their way across this area. Temperatures are going to drop on the backside of that line, but generally speaking, it will be above freezing for around 36 to 48 hours in Illinois and Indiana. Some good news if you don't want all that snow on the ground. By Friday and Saturday, we have that Arctic air making its way back in. Any snow on the roadways could refreeze into ice. That's something to keep in mind on Friday, with temperatures dropping below freezing. Friday and Saturday remain pretty warm across the southern plains. Many areas in Texas will reach the 80s on Saturday. The 80s. In December, the game-changing update happens at minute 15. By Sunday and Monday of next week, things get more uncertain, but the big trend right now is clear. If you're in the Midwest, Ohio Valley, or Northeast, we continue to stay below average. Anywhere along the Gulf Coast, even into areas like Nebraska and the Rockies, that's where above-average temperatures are likely for the next 7 to 10 days. We can all wave winter bye-bye if you're in the southern plains or southeast. Climate Prediction Center between December 21st and 27th is forecasting above-average temperatures all across the United States. Unless you're in the Pacific Northwest or in the extreme northern periphery of the country. That's North Dakota, Minnesota, and New England. A very warm stretch of weather is ahead. Get your winter jackets back in the closet if you're in Texas and Oklahoma. You will not need them for a while. Now let's talk about the rain and snow coming over the next 7 days. I want to begin with what's happening in the Pacific Northwest over the next couple days. This is really going to be the big story all week long. Areas like Washington and Oregon are going to get absolutely hammered by extremely heavy rainfall. This is coming over a multi-day stretch. There are a lot of rivers in western Washington that are already at major flood level, or at least have been over the last several days. It's only going to get worse this week. We have a multi-day rain event coming from a very strong atmospheric river. The unprecedented revelation is at minute 17. With atmospheric river events, a lot of the time that moisture will go over the Rockies. In some cases, we can get big winter storms in the United States. However, most of the moisture for the next 5 days will actually be going further to the north. If you're in Canada, you're going to luck out on some snow. But in the United States, there's not going to be much. By Wednesday, we continue to see very heavy snow and rain across the Pacific Northwest. Tuesday night into early Wednesday will be the worst day in Washington and Oregon for heavy rainfall. Mudslides, all that stuff. By late Wednesday and early Thursday, a very intense low-pressure system will form over the northern Rockies into southern Canada. Winter storm conditions are likely in parts of southern Canada. This could bring a little winter storm conditions to the upper Midwest and northern plains by Thursday. Strong to even isolated severe storms are on the table in the Ohio Valley on Thursday. I would not rule out some isolated damaging winds. Other than that, I'm not expecting much of a tornado risk. By Friday, this storm system makes its way into the northeast. Snow is mainly in Canada. Lots of rain across New England. Not expecting much snow, though, in New England out of that event. By late Friday and Saturday, more moisture is going to come over the Rockies and try to create another storm system by Saturday and Sunday. Not sure how intense this storm is going to be at this time. But snow is on the table over in the Midwest and Great Lakes. Maybe another round of showers and even thunderstorms over in the Ohio Valley late Saturday and Sunday. The critical breakthrough happens at minute 19. Fast forwarding to Christmas, we don't know what's going to happen on Christmas Day in terms of precipitation. But I do think there will be at least some moisture in the United States, to the point where somebody will see snow on Christmas Day. At the bare minimum, we should still have a white Christmas for most of the Midwest and Northern Plains. Temperatures will remain below average there. Let's put this all together. What does this mean for you? If you're in the Midwest or Ohio Valley right now, you're experiencing historic cold. Bundle up, limit time outdoors, check on elderly neighbors. This is dangerous cold that can cause frostbite in minutes. But relief is coming. By Wednesday and Thursday, temperatures will surge. We're talking 50-degree temperatures in areas that are seeing 0 today. That's a 50-degree swing in just 3 days. The rapid temperature change brings its own concerns. Snowmelt will be quick, very quick. Roads could become sloppy. Drainage systems might struggle. If you have snow around your foundation, make sure your sump pump is working. For the Pacific Northwest, this is a critical week. Rivers are already swollen. More rain is coming, heavy rain. Days of it. If you live near a river in Washington or Oregon, monitor conditions closely. Have an evacuation plan ready. The final revelation is at minute 21. The pattern change also opens the door for more winter storms. Late this week into next weekend, we're watching for potential systems. The Midwest and Great Lakes could see snow. The timing isn't perfect yet, but the pattern supports it. Thursday brings the possibility of severe weather in the Ohio Valley. Thunderstorms in December. That's unusual but not unheard of during these dramatic warm-ups. Damaging winds are possible. Stay weather aware. Friday and Saturday bring another temperature drop. Not as severe as what we're experiencing now, but enough to refreeze any melting snow. Black ice could be a concern Friday morning. Be careful on the roads. As we head toward Christmas, the pattern looks active but uncertain. Models are struggling with the details beyond 7 days. But the overall trend shows above average temperatures for most of the country, except the far north. Does this mean winter is over? Absolutely not. These dramatic swings actually create more opportunities for storms. Warm air brings moisture. Cold air following behind turns that moisture into snow. The pattern we're in right now, this back and forth between extreme cold and unusual warmth, this is actually favorable for winter storms. Each swing brings new possibilities. The mind-blowing discovery is at minute 23. Think about what's happening. We've already had Indianapolis record its second snowiest start to winter in 140 years. We've had multiple significant snow events. The cold has been intense and persistent. Now we're getting a warm-up. But it's temporary. More cold is coming. More storms are likely. The pattern isn't shutting down. It's reloading. That snowpack building up in Canada, that's crucial. When Arctic air masses move south in January and February, that snowpack will keep them colder, more intense, better for snow in the northern states. The ocean temperatures cooling off the East Coast, that's huge for coastal snow potential later in winter. Each Arctic blast cools the ocean a little more. By late December and January, those cooler ocean temperatures dramatically increase snow chances for cities like New York, Philadelphia, Boston, and Washington, D.C. So while people are talking about this warm-up like it's the end of winter, the reality is different. The warm-up is a brief intermission. Winter is far from over. In fact, all the ingredients are coming together for a very active rest of the season. Here's your action plan for the next 7 days. Today through Monday, if you're in the cold zone, protect yourself. Dress in layers. Cover all exposed skin. Limit outdoor time. Bring pets inside. Check on vulnerable neighbors. Tuesday through Thursday, prepare for the rapid warm-up. Clear drains around your home. Make sure gutters are working. If you have a lot of snow, be ready for quick melt. Thursday, if you're in the Ohio Valley or Midwest, stay weather aware. Thunderstorms are possible. Some could be strong. Have a way to get warnings. Friday, watch for black ice. That refreeze could make roads treacherous, especially in the morning. Saturday and Sunday, monitor forecasts for potential winter weather. Models are showing systems developing. Details will become clearer as we get closer. The final game changer is at minute 25. For those planning Christmas travel, pay close attention to forecasts this week. The pattern is active. Things can change quickly. Have backup plans. Be flexible with timing. For those staying home, enjoy this rare weather pattern. How often do you see minus 20 degrees one day and 50 degrees a few days later? It's remarkable. It's unusual. And it's creating incredible opportunities for weather enthusiasts. But most importantly, this pattern tells us winter is very much alive. The cold will return, the snow chances will continue, and January and February could bring even more significant events. What's coming in the next video will blow your mind. We're going to dive deep into the long-range pattern beyond Christmas. January is setting up to be very active, potentially historic cold, major storm potential, pattern shifts that could bring blockbuster winter weather. We're also going to look at specific cities and their snow chances for the rest of winter. Who's favored? Who's not? What the ocean temperatures and Canadian snowpack mean for your area. You won't want to miss that breakdown. The pattern is evolving. Models are updating every 6 hours. And what we're seeing for late December and early January could be the most significant winter weather of the entire season. Subscribe now so you don't miss the next update. Because this rare winter setup is just getting started. The dramatic swings will continue, the storm chances will persist, and winter 2024 to 2025 is proving to be one for the record books. Stay prepared, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next forecast with everything you need to know about what's coming after Christmas.